Good evening, everyone. How was your day today? Mine was pretty good. Tonight, we are going to do the class trial and discover who killed Sayaka Maizono. So let's do it, shall we? Slow but decent. Hi, Maz. See, let's start our skills. Oh wait, we don't have any. Wait, what's this? Robot shock? Increases your truthful rate of fire. Effective during the non-stop debate and the bullet time battle's final strike. Costs 3 SP. We got 10, so what else do we got? Melodious violence. Melodious voice. Increased damage of the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time. Well, since that's the only things we have, let's try this out. Now let's check out our handbook. The victim was Sayaka Maizono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room in the dormitory. The death took place at the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen, and her right wrist appears to have been fractured. Evidence of a struggle. There are a number of scratches and gorges on the bed and walls in Makoto's room. The replica sword. Makoto took this from the gym entryway and put it in his room. The sword was found out of its sheath on the floor in the middle of the room. The sword handle was missing some of the gold coating as it was part of the blade. Makoto took this. If you were going to attack someone with a sword, you would almost certainly remove the sheath first. On the night of the murder, Makoto and Sayaka traded rooms in the room keys. Makoto's room key was also found in Makoto's room. Sayaka had originally asked Makoto to switch with her when someone attempted to force their way into her room, and she became frightened. This toolkit has been placed in Makoto's room before he arrived. It remains unopened and there is no evidence of it having ever been used. All the other male students claim that they haven't used theirs either, but still. Not a single hair was found on the floor at the scene of the crime. In addition, the lint roller shows evidence of being used. Sayaka's wrist had been fractured and her wrist was glittery at the injury location. In addition, her hands appeared to be completely clean except for the index finger on her left hand, which had some blood on it. A series of numbers had been written in blood on Makoto's bathroom wall, 11037. It is assumed that Sayaka wrote these numbers while leaned up against the wall, as she lay dying. Makoto's bathroom door was difficult to open due to the not quite fitting in the door frame properly. The only two people who knew the trick to open it were Makoto, the room's owner, and Sayaka, the victim. Makoto's bathroom doorknob had been broken. The screws holding it in place had all been partially or completely removed. The nameplates on the rooms to Sayaka and Makoto's rooms were apparently switched at some point. The kitchen and the dining hall has a set of kitchen knives. Apparently one of the knives had gone missing. The knife from the kitchen went missing while Aiwi was in the dining hall. Aiwi swears that Makoto did not come to the dining hall at any point while she was there. There's apparently a trash room within the school. It's blocked off by a sturdy gate that can only be opened with a trash room key. The incinerator can be activated via a switch on the machine. Hifumi was on cleaning duty, and he claims that the last time he saw the incinerator, it was off. However, Makoto checked it after the incident. The incinerator was in fact on. The distance from the gate to the incinerator is roughly 30 feet. A piece of A piece of burnt clothing was found next to the incinerator in the trash room. It is apparently part of a shirt cuff, and it has a noticeable blood stain on it. Shards of glass were found next to the incinerator in the trash room. As it turns out, the glass ball would have fit comfortably in the palm of the person's hand. Apparently, Yasuhiro left the ball in the laundry room on accident, so anyone could have come along and taken it. That's crazy that I remember all of these truth bullets, because otherwise I don't think I remember any of these.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Hold on. was I?
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Target, that's not gonna work.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
That's a good question.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to... Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about it. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives on the line. Aim and shoot, right? I have to aim and shoot. During these discussions, people will speak one after another without pausing. It's up to you to unearth any lies and contradictions buried within their statements. What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use your left stick to aim, then fire with the Y button. Pay close attention to each character's statement and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Know that if you run out of time, you'll automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press the start button during these arguments, you can reveal the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. That's the only truth bullet I have for now.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already. and the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong. Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, there are scratches on the wall and the floor, so there definitely was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Maizono and the killer, of course.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
Dang it, Makoto, I just said that!
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
It would be the sword and sheath, or at least just the sword.
Wow.
Knife.
This is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Don't cry. I'm trying not to. There's a kitchen knife set.
So what was used to kill her?
It was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder
Oh, you
weapon.
meant Chihiro?
So the killer used some random knife they had?
No, that's wrong. No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
That is true.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
There is no point if they do that.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Yes. She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough. Someone just waiting for us to find it. Because I know darn well I'm not the killer. You can concentrate by holding down the RB button. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay close attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it will steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time. So let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. So that's Y and RB, right?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
Nobody was... No, that's wrong.
I don't think I need to do that.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
I didn't take the kitchen knife because I'm not the murderer. See, that's exactly what the killer would say.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I want to get some tea from the kitchen last night. I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
You're just making an assumption at this point, aren't you, Toko?
Idiot swimmer girl! Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Yada yada does it.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
I mean, can't you tell that I'm a woman? Yeah. I want to smash you with my fists. And then she proceeds to punch Leon, having a concussion.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
There, spat it out. You happy?
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
Seriously, I'm wearing a female schoolgirl outfit. How could you idiots not tell I'm a girl?
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Like seriously, you can't even see that I'm wearing a schoolgirl outfit? Thank you, Kiyotaka, indeed. Especially since he's right next to her.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Sayaka. Someone who's not here? Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen.
You know, I was actually curious if I was actually tempting to just pick Monokuma on purpose just to see how he'd react. But then I thought, nah, it was totally Sayaka.
As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Makoto, have you not been paying attention to the rules? If she killed the person who was going to kill her, she would have been the blackened.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
But I don't have a talent. That's what a killer would say. Darn. If I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Ultimate redirector?
Something
Right,
was
Eric? I don't know
missing
what
from
that
the
is.
scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Hangman's Gambit. Let's see how this one works. It's really important for what relates to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce a phrase from the letters flying around the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting on the flying letters in the right order. Use the left stick to aim on the Y button to shoot. If you shoot the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage and engage. Click it to zero and you run out of time you failed. Oh my god, look at that fun. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Okay, boys. Okay, guys, to be honest, I don't remember how the Hangman Gambit goes properly. Hair.
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
They used a hairbrush. Clearly. Obviously, it's the lint roller.
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The door. The killer's struggling getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is the outer the killer broke.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then.
Makoto's bathroom was hard to open.
Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first. But is it the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about nonsense debates. Would you like to hear more? From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. You're the truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but they also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will be damaged. Now this is important because if the gauge is empty, yeah, you'll be fail. Since allowing on your own logic can determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well, go ahead and have fun. Good luck and have fun, I mean. Don't just go ahead. Ow. The bathroom door frame, huh?
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
That is
She
true.
then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Wait. Hey, tell me that again. Wanted.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
Ah, no. It's not because the door is locked.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main. She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran after her, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
No, that's not right. Huh? What's wrong? If you keep trying the trial, you're gonna get put on trial yourself.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
The incident took place. Sayaka was first. She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bath. At that point, the killer...
Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong!
She didn't lock it.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, your You're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door.
No, I'm not that lucky. I think someone else is lucky. He has white hair, green coat, talks about hope a lot. You would like him. You would get along with him, Monokuma.
That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. Hold on. Also, sorry about the background noise. It's family. So they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was...
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
I just want to do a clone high drums because of that. Say what? 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 Gandhi!
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
Well, there you go. I'm not the killer.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Exactly. There's no way I could have done it. Otherwise, would have known it would have been difficult to open the door. Also, sorry if I'm talking so fast. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then you all die.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Can I have a donut?
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka had let someone in because...
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just two of us. Just us two. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come and see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at Mono as like, ah!
Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
I'm going to smash the crap out of Makoto! Just punches him.
Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
I'm going to do this, Makoto! Punch, punch, punch.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
I don't know what I'm saying. Makoto getting punched by Mono. I couldn't think of anyone else. I could have thought of Hifumi, but Makoto just seems like the most obvious that Mondo would punch. I mean, he already did, right? So why would he punch him again?
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then, that note. Which, if one of my moderators sees this, I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. I was taking Mondo's portrait out of context. Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Can we get a restraining order from Hifumi? And tell him to stay 5 feet away from all women?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Never mind.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Oh my god, what about Leon's expression? He's like, ah, oh, man, really? I gotta be next to this foreign chick? What the frick? Oh god, I think I'm gonna vomit.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note,
then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
The killer went into my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is it has to be because of what got switched between my and Sayaka's rooms.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, but in the note, it specifically says my room.
No, that. Your meaning was very exciting. Please stop wasting my time.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, but in the note, it specifically I see. Then they would have gone exactly. The room that Makoto was.
No, that's wrong.
Trial and error.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
Just like magic.
As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right? Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only person who knew if we had to switch rooms.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
Well, obviously she was trying to protect Makoto.
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
I mean, she's not entirely wrong, just we have to figure that out and then we can find out who the killer is.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with a fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
No, she was holding the sheath to protect herself from the killer who was using the sword.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Getting used to these non-stop debates, starting with the next debate, you'll also loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. But just like with a weak spot, only one of those bullets can actually refute to the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll damage your influence gauge. You press LB to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press release LB to cycle to each bullet. Or hold down, or you can hold on the LB and use the left stick to select a specific bullet. By the way, the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For our purpose this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Well then, good luck and have fun. Guys, I think I'm screwed.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
It's either the sheath or knife. But the person with the sword really did attack first. There's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit, and that's when the first blow. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong.
Well, got it right the first time.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched.
I just like Yasuhiro's line where he's like, huh? Why not? And it just doesn't fit his expression. He's like, it's really like, huh? Why not?
See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you are going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
No, if that was the case, she would have been dead on my room, not in my bathroom.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The part of her body that shows she never used the sword. If you wanted to use a sword, which part of her body would you touch it?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
In this case, you would have seen some gold around it.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
What does that have to do with anything right now? None of this relates to you being ugly, Toko.
No, that's not it at all.
See, even he thinks that. There's no way Sayaka wants the gold coating off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathroom at nighttime.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I would have said big fat ugly pig, but I'm not the writer for this.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Take it as a compliment, Hifumi.
An insult, obviously.
No, take it as a compliment. It's half nice, half mean.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheet with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife. The one who damaged the sheath would have been the one without the sword.
I got it!
This was a no-brainer.
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
You really think that they would believe him?
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Oh my god, Sayaka was going to kill someone? I can't believe this.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
I really don't like the face that Toko is giving. It just looks really seductive. And that is not good.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife,
then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
Can we not have Seductive Togo be an emote? Like, can we not do that?
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Oh God.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong!
Well, I didn't even need to read the whole thing.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
No, I said dying. Pay attention, Leon.
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Yeah, maybe if we turn it around 180 degrees.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message, and I can prove it.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
In fact, it looks like it reads no L. There's no L in here.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Can I please punch Mondo in the face?
Our little brain cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Turn around, idiots! Darn it, it's no use. I just don't know. Turn it around. That 7 is an L. That 3 is an E. That 0 is an O. And put the N at the end and you get Leon.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Thank you! Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh?
You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Sayaka's dying message reveals the real killer's name. If you turn her message 180 degrees, it should become crystal clear. It was Hifumi! No, then maybe it was Toko!
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
Oh my god!
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
He is not even trying.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
I mean, by that logic, Mondo would be the killer.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
The evidence that Leon tried to get rid of. It's that thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on that. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Oh my god, I check on something. Alright.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
But you're the only one who's wearing a white jacket.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burn piece remains in the button shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. That's because something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. The time the shirt was destroyed, if we focus on the time the killer the killer will become clear. What do you mean? The time it was destroyed? Do you really have the evidence that proves what time it was destroyed? I don't think you do.
Shoot!
No, that's not right either.
I got it! Look closely at how the shirt was disposed of. We should be able to figure out who the killer is.
To be honest, I thought that was going to be the answer, but I wanted to be sure.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
Hifumi, you realize that would mean you would be considered the killer, right? Yep, he noticed. No, that's wrong! There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on the cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. That Leon is the real killer.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
Shoot!
Shoot! The key to the trash room. Whoever was on...
So the only one...
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. No, that's wrong.
I pushed it too soon the last time.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was...
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on? Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It wouldn't have been much of a challenge after all. At all for the killer because...
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Here's how the closing argument goes. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of the events from the case in the form of a comic book, manga. However, you'll notice that in the comic, there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the A button, holy Caligula, a hint that might lead to a breakthrough! Well then, good luck and have fun. What are you, Gabe Newell? This is where it gets hard. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. Manga format.
Here's exactly what happened.
Let's see if I get it right.
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier.
No, I didn't have the reasoning right. I need to rearrange the event of the case. That might have been the one I messed up on.
The killer is you! Here's exactly what happened.
I think I got it wrong too.
But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily. Sayaka knew about that because I'd told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area.
I think that during that moment, the picture that had Sayaka with the knife falling off her is what got me confused.
They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator.
You broke the Fushigi ball!
The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
I have the evidence? Your first bullet time battle is about to begin. Would you like to hear it? This is where it gets tough. Sometimes I get class trial you up. Does the TW mean Tommy Wiseau? I did not hit her. It's bullcrap. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Leon. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sometimes in a class trial, your opponent simply won't want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as the bullet time battle, aka the BTB, by the way. BTW. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statement in time with the rhythm. Which is like BYBY. Match your burn person with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. I like rhythm games. Well, good for you, Emmy. I'm not good at them. Press the A button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you've locked on with your Y button as the tempo marker reaches the center. Use the method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep this going and you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get into a tempo down situation. When the tempo changes, so does the timing for the hitting each button. So watch out for that. Deal enough damage to your opponent and their weak spots statement would appear. At one point, you can press the Y button to shoot it down with the truth bullet like any other statement. Refute the statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious. But just like before, if your fluid gauge reaches 0, you ran out of time. You fail. Well then, good luck and have fun, while you still can.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
They used something of their own to remove the screws. Could have been...
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid.
Useless, 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 useless. Okay. Useless, 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 useless. Now I expect the Ray to just be useless 6 times with a hashtag on it. Like hashtag useless, 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 useless. I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure it out. The moment of truth, everyone.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. You lied.
This is gonna require a lot of concentration.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
Well, I can't believe I did that.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
And only the boys have the toolkits.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! Huh?
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
Oh god! Guys, I think Leon is melting!
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
And then Leon is looking down and he just vomits. Look at that, all A's. I did pretty good for the first trial. And I got a lot of mono coins.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection.
Must resist Emperor's New Groove Choke. Must resist Emperor's New Groove Choke.
Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh look, it's Monopoly! Danganronpa edition! Oh, looks like you got it right on the money. I did win the lottery. The Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kawada. So bad.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a biscuit, what the heck are you? What the heck is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So that's why.
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I would balance like this.
I was just unlucky. That's all.
Hey, come on!
You guys ready to just accept my death? A flower told me to do it. And he was secretly a goat child. Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about it, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd all been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then the truth is that Sayaka was truly to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. Why? I can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them, and Sayaka. did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. Then when she said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
so what she said, she was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that what when she talked to me in the first place? Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I could do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's it. Boy, howdy! The entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seems so nice and lovely all on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness. What did you say?
Phew.
I understand. Really I do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing around! This is all your fault! Sayaka being forced to do something like that! All of it! Everything! It was all your fault! Suddenly, in a frenzy, I lunged at Monokuma, but...
That's enough.
As angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitating. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Darn it! Ah, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were going to give me a good walloping. Just barely avoiding punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leo Kawada will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution?
That line does not match his portrait. You mean execution?
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself. I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Isn't that because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder?
So,
that's not... Stop it! I've had enough of this! Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? You killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon's solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him.
Huh?
If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in that situation, the mastermind.
Unbelievable.
Uh-oh, did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetrate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Okay, well anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get what everyone's been waiting for. The punishment!
I'm begging you, please, don't do this.
Hey.
No more begging, no more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Kiwata, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No!
Game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. No! He's gonna get a lot of baseballs, and they're going to aim directly into his face, aren't they? Play ball! Oh my god, those balls are hitting him! League Sports will be the show 2022. I'm not sure that's what they show. All of that blood and all of those baseballs. Oh my god, Leon had a lot of baseballs to his face. At that moment, Leon died as he lived. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Do I need to add anything there? You pretty much said it. Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control! Oh, what's going on?
I can't take it.
I can't take this anymore. Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well?
Well, hey! If you don't like it, live with it! All you gotta do is swear to cut all ties to the outside world and accept living here forever! But that's only if every single one of you get on board with it.
Damn you!
Man, freak you! Why the freak are you doing all this evil crap to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful secret society type of guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful secret society type of bear.
Well...
So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a grueling ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. And I can't believe I said that on one breath. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. Hey. I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together.
Shit.
You piece of crap. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your butt into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way at the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't get free from your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can't get free out of the outside world. Being trapped in this insane place. You're trapped, aren't you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mystery of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey,
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in here. Just like before.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Anyway, let's get to the Black End's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for, after all.
hey,
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Certainly not me. Sorry, I said everything I've got to say. I need to save some of the fun for later. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone. Their voices dead. But it was in that moment.
just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear. I love you.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself? By myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even until the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why. As she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure. And she can't, and we can't ask her now.
However,
even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
so...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
It was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone, or deceive you. Which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracts failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths? I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka. I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry the memories with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well... I'm psychic.
What?
Huh? Kidding. I have a pretty good intuition. Oh, thank God it's over. Thank God this chapter is over. You received a despair badge present. One down. This is where I'm gonna end the stream. For Emmy, I'm sorry you had to see this. I'm sorry you had to see Leon's death. I hope you'll be okay on Friday when I stream this again. And to Master Zorok, never change. So anyways, I'm gonna see who we're gonna raid tonight. Let's see. Who is the target for tonight? Noted. Robonyan. Tonight we're going to raid Sonic Fox. Wait, maybe it's... Why can't I find them? Crap, they ended. Alright. We're gonna raid Mikiran. No, wait, Johnny Jellyjaw. Okay, Johnny Jellyjaw it is. So anyways, I hope you had a good night. And tomorrow we're going to stream Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I'm not going to do the Arc 5 story for Legacy of the Duel Channel until March, so... Good night.